Max Hardick interview, take one.
Myself, take one.
Just go out and murder myself for the film.
I wanted to be a filmmaker back in high school when I got interested in animation and stop motion, and I wanted to do something similar to that, but I didn't want it to take as long as stop motion or animation does, and I found filming was kind of a cool substitute for that.
And yeah, we're gonna come up to this tree. I joined the National Guard when I was 17, in between my junior and senior year. So I went to basic training and then came back, finished my senior year of high school, and then went to AIT after that. I didn't really like my job that much in the military, and I always wanted to do something more like the film specialization, whatever that was. I just wanted to go into that. And so I decided, screw it. I don't want to be doing a job that I don't like for my whole life and be like miserable. So I decided to just go for it. And there's a lot of people in the military that don't get it. They don't get the film degree. They just don't think there's jobs in it. They just don't understand it because I don't know why. But so I don't really care what they think. It's something I always wanted to do, so I went for it anyways.
Bathroom first,
Then the ball.
knocking, then the ballroom, then I saw someone and the lights went out. Got it.
I had transferred to this school mainly because of the film degree here, but mainly I had switched from criminal justice. It was only going to be an associate's degree, but I've always had a thing for film since I've been growing up, and I took a media class in high school, and I thought that was pretty interesting, so that kind of sparked my interest to start taking classes here.
So I would make little videos when I was younger. Me and my brother would make episodes of The Twilight Zone, and that was all good fun. Then when I got older, I stopped doing that, and it was a matter of gotta get a job now. Everybody asking in high school, what are you gonna do after high school? What are you gonna do after high school? And I was very indecisive, so I didn't know. So I was like, well, I gotta enjoy my work somehow, so it had to be film, so.
Yeah, that's chocolate syrup.
I think movies and digital arts in general are what inspire me the most to do anything. And when I was a kid, like the most fun things to watch were people making movies, and I'm like, oh man, I wish I could do that. But it's always seemed like such a dream until, you know, I found out that people could actually make a career out of that. So
it all started with me going to high school, and we had a multimedia program, and I really liked playing with cameras and dealing with the footage and making videos and skits. So I thought, why not make it a career?
It wasn't anything really crazy, but if I have to say, the one major thing would be just my friends and I creating like silly videos when we were in high school, and then I decided I really enjoy doing this, and why don't I take it seriously and go further with it.
Caden, say that idea again, just so I don't forget.
Guy pins up one guy against the wall, and the other guy's like, two can play at that game, and he grabs the other guy by the collar and pins him up against the wall, even though he's still pinned up against the wall.
I initially was considering doing the film major when I was considering going to DSU, but they got rid of the major, and so I just decided to do the minor and do animation, which I was up in the air if I wanted to do animation or the film major back in high school. I enjoyed doing both things in high school, but in the end, the only real option was doing the animation major with the film minor, as kind of still learning film here.
Honey, I'm home. I just got first place at the Prairie Grass Bowling Tournament.
You're home early.
I suppose what made me want to pursue being a filmmaker is that ever since I was little, I've always watched like 3D cartoons or just cartoons in general and films, and I always just been infatuated with them. So When I first was going to go to college, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was thinking of just becoming a cyber ops major and waste my life that way. But I decided I don't really want to spend my life doing that, which I don't love. So I decided, well, I loved making short films when I was in high school. So why not go and try film?
When I'm watching a film in the theaters, I just get an overwhelming feel of excitement, like, wow, I want to do something as good as this so bad, and then I'm ready to go. Or if I see a really bad movie, I'm like, well, if they were able to make that, I can make something too.
What's special about being a filmmaker is that you get to collaborate with people who are all just as excited about making something as you are. And through that process of collaboration, I feel much more comfortable working with people than I was say in high school.
I think when I first started, I was not worried about shots or how it's framed, really. I was more thinking about the story, not much anything else. Now I'm like, how does the shot portray to the character? Is the shot making the audience feel a certain way? How fast are we cutting, frame per second, everything else. So now I'm like, okay, I can see what I've learned, and I'm not just like, what am I doing this for? I'm learning about it.
Last project I did, Five Nights at Freddy's, I learned that I didn't plan a whole lot with the lighting and how everything was going to kind of look composition-wise on camera. I didn't have enough lights to make it look bright, so everything was really dark in each shot, so I had to kind of compensate for that and try and do as best as I could because I only had a limited time to work with each actor and kind of with the set I had.
My favorite project that I've been part of, I would have to say when I did my own film last semester, Complications. That was a very good learning experience for me, and I enjoyed every part of it.
Man, every film we've worked on is so much fun. I don't think there's ever been a film I've worked on that I've been like, man, this is the most dull experience ever. There's always something to laugh about, something fun to look back on. I think my favorite film that I've worked on in the past couple semesters is this one I did with Tate called Serial Killers. That one was fun. We filmed it all in one night, but it was really goofy, fun movie. We were coming up with shots as the night went on, and that was a really fun experience. And it ended up actually winning the best film at our film festival in the fall. I guess people really liked it, so it was fun to make something that entertained people as much as it entertained us making it.
One experience out of many great experiences I've had here, but there was a film that Max Hardick and I made a while back called The Procrastinator, where he played this character that was procrastinating doing a task, and at the end of the film, I got sprayed by a bunch of water. And it was funny, and I remember this because it was supposed to just be a little bit of water, and then we were just gonna cut it in the edit, but he just kept spraying for a minute because the water bottle never, I didn't even know it could hold that much water, but eventually by the end I was just drenched in water, and I had a nice shirt on and it was just fully drenched in water, but that was a fun experience.
I liked when we worked on Vanish just because it was something we hadn't really done before. We hadn't really gone out in the woods and had everyone get mosquito bites, and I felt bad, but it was still cool to do that.
When our class did the interview project about a year ago, that was kind of fun to do. We all got to work together and see what our strengths are, what our weaknesses were. We all kind of just had fun on those shoot days, whether it was the online Zoom calls, recording those, or driving in person to another town to go film at some place and kind of interacting with our interviewees and seeing how they are on and off the screen of the filming process.
I think the film program here is special because, film in itself is kind of like a team work. It's hard to make a film by yourself, and so I think just the people that you get to know through just being in a film together is really cool.
When we had a large group helping out with Max's film, which is The Tall, I really enjoyed like working with such a large number of people. It almost feels like you're out there in like a large production working with this like large number of people, so it made it fun, like with all these people and different people we could work with, just having different personalities and just you people to talk to, learn about things.
I think the best part about it is you have a bunch of people who's just invested in film as you are, and you're bouncing ideas off everyone and you get to work together with everyone. And I think if it was more compartmentalized, then I wouldn't be doing as good of a job.
Giving people an inspiration to do something that they're passionate about. You know, if they're passionate about horror, if they're passionate about action, they can try to pursue it. I think like a lot of people, especially if they're not in college, they don't ever get the inspiration to make these films. But if they're in that degree, you know, they have to for assignments, but they're also more motivated too because they're surrounded by other people that want to do similar things.
I'm happy to be here and to keep working with people who, you know, really love film as much as I do, or even more. It's just such a great community that I've found on campus, and you know, I'm really happy to be here and meet all these great people. You know.
I'd say what's special about the film program is that you have all these unique people that have come together and just want to do inspiring or great things that you can't really do alone. And together we make all these amazing and super cool movies that otherwise I would never have even like dreamed of making in the first place. But it's the fact that I got to know all these cool people and these cool guys that it just made the experience worth it.
What do we do? We have to jump.
Got a mean set of cojones, Lou. When did you get the nerve?